Hi my lovelies, today I want to share 5 tips how to keep your home clutter-free. If you're like me, it's really easy to get everything cluttered again. And if you're also like me, it makes you nervous to see clutter. I don't know, I'm a visual person. It does make me nervous. If I work on my table and everything's cleared, I can work so much better. If my inbox is at 0 or maybe just a couple emails, I can work so much better overall. My brain functions better. I don't know why that is. I used to be a little bit messy, and in the past few years I've become very organized just because of the fact that I've reduced everything. Like really almost everything I've reduced to the minimum so that I can only focus on the things that are truly relevant. So here are some tips on how to keep your life and your home more clutter-free. The first thing is to clear surfaces. In the kitchen, for example, I have tried to minimize all small appliances so that, number one, I don't have a bunch of stuff out on the countertops, but only the thing that I use like literally every single day, which is my tea kettle, my water kettle, and the coffee machine. Anything else I don't use every single day, so it doesn't need to be on the countertop. I also don't need all kinds of kitchen utensils on the countertop. I decluttered all my drawers so that the stuff has a space inside of the drawers or cabinets. And I have tried to minimize my small appliances because you just don't need that many. I have really just a blender and a toaster and a rice cooker and a crock pot. It's pretty much all, and then like this hot air deep fryer, which I use also probably at least 2 to 3 times every single week, so that's something we really need. But other than that, I don't need an egg boiler or fancy stuff like that because you can just boil it in water in a pot. So try to just declutter all surfaces by creating enough space in the drawers and cabinets so that everything has a home to where you can easily put it away. The next thing is functional decor. To me, I can't deal with a bunch of clutter stuff and like all this decor and tchotchkes and knickknacks all over. It might look pretty, but to me it just adds extra work because I have to dust, and then dusting is like, it becomes this chore. It's not just, okay, clear the table and just dust and then put the couple things back on. It's like, okay, let's take down this beautiful decor and then build it up again. It's almost like you're, in a shop and you're decorating the window or something. And to me personally, decor just needs to be functional. You can decorate with things that you use. And for example, in my kitchen, I have there is the dishwashing soap, and there is the brush, and my sponge that I clean the kitchen with. So they're all in this container that I think looks kind of cute. And so it's functional, but it's also cute. And that's all that needs to be on the countertop other than my 2 appliances. And that, to me, that is not clutter. That is just useful stuff that I'm gonna need anyway. It would be too much work to put it in and out a drawer all the time. It needs to be out. So functional decor. The same goes for my fruit tray. I have this 2-tiered tray that I use to put fruits and vegetables on. And so I think it looks pretty. Just put my fruits and vegetables on, but they have to be stored anyway. And that way it's a nice display for stuff that we need to be eating, but it's also just functional. And on my bed, I don't have a bunch of pillows. I just have the pillow that I'm actually gonna use. So that's all I need to do. I don't like in the evening coming to my bed and then having like, I don't know, 8 pillows that then need like, where are they? They need to be on the floor overnight. That doesn't make sense to me. So definitely functional decor. The next principle is to be intentional what you bring home. This is a really, really big one. It is so easy to see something, to want something, and to buy it. Even if it's something that you think you really need, always think about the fact that one day you're gonna have to get rid of it, and that always distracts me, and that always keeps me from buying a lot of stuff because I'm thinking, once I have to discard this if I don't want it anymore or when it's broken, how hard will it be to get rid of this? And I don't know how it is where you live, but here in Germany it's not that easy to get rid of stuff. You can't just put stuff in the trash. Plus, you shouldn't, of course. So if it's anything electronic, then I have to drive 10 miles to bring it to this place where I can actually discard it. You know, there's other kinds of trash, unless it's something really, really small, I have to take it 10 miles to discard it. And so I really think about it. You know, even clothes, I'm thinking, if I get this piece of clothing, how hard is it going to be to get rid of it if I don't want it anymore or when it's broken? Or the shoes or anything else that I bring into my home. Always ask yourself, do I want to bring this home? Do I want to have to get rid of it? Do I want to have to look for a space for it? Do I have space for it? So that brings me to my next point. Have a home for everything. Having a home for everything is so important. I know you've heard this many times, but do you really have a home for everything? I know, like a drawer, a miscellaneous drawer isn't maybe sometimes the space for everything. If you have too many places where it's just like throw in stuff and miscellaneous, then maybe you don't really have space for everything. If you have the same kind of stuff in 5 different places, like if you have pens and pencils like in 5 places in your house, then maybe it's too many. Maybe you need to gather all of them and then ask yourself, okay, maybe I need one in the kitchen if I need one, maybe one like by the phone or something, but then everything else just goes in the office. A lot of times we just scatter things all over the place and we don't realize how much of this thing we have. This also brings me to my next point, which is my last point. When you find a home for everything, you don't want to fill your spaces to the brim. You want to make sure you leave extra space, and this is so important. If you fill everything to the max, it's going to be really hard to keep everything nice and in order and to keep the clutter out of there, because as soon as you get one extra item, it's going to be overcrowded because you had it maxed out the space. So if you have a drawer of kitchen utensils that's already really full, if you add another, it's going to become even more full. But what if you had a drawer in which you have space, like extra space available in case you need to add one other item or 2 other items? Sometimes, you know, we don't have to just replace something. We can't, you know, when something breaks, it's easy just to replace it, toss the old and add the new. But sometimes we realize we actually need something additional, which is legitimate, and we sometimes definitely do. But keep extra space. Like in my wardrobe, when I had more clothes, even every time I cleaned out and sorted my wardrobe, it looked really nice right afterward, but it got messy again so quickly because everything was just always crammed in there. And so it's really hard to keep the order because every time you rip something out, you also rip part of something else out. And that goes for all drawers. When you have to dig something out, then digging means that you make a mess of everything else. So by avoiding, you know, having everything overcrowded and leaving extra space, you really keep the clutter down. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips on how to avoid clutter. Keeping your house clutter-free, I think, helps your brain and it helps you be more productive. It helps you be calmer. It does for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I hope to see you soon. Bye.